Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly. This is KBellaBeauty, and today I decided to film a little tutorial for you, and it is on this festive green holiday look. I feel like you could also pair it with a red lip, get even a little bit more festive if you'd like. I just chose a nude lip because the eyes are a little bold, but I don't think a red would look bad. So you can definitely do that if you are into red lips. I wanted to film a holiday look, but I didn't want it to be like the traditional silver glitter or gold. I didn't want to do like the neutral eye with the red lips because I feel like you've already seen that all over YouTube. So I went with green. I feel like greens look good on redheads like myself, so I did go with this green look here. Now toward the end, my lighting might start to change a little bit because I do film in front of a window and I got a late start on filming today. So the sun is already leaving us, and when I was trying to finish the look up, I didn't have a lot of natural light, and I just don't have good lighting yet. So hopefully that doesn't bother you. Hopefully I'm able to edit it a little bit and you can still see how I finished up this tutorial. But anyway, that's enough chit-chatting. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. As you can see, I already did my brows and one eye just to kind of save time and recording. So I am going to start with my primer. I'm using the Urban Decay Eden Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I like this one because it's kind of like a moussey texture, but it still has a tint to it. So I feel like it covers up any fine lines or veining. Also, if you see this light right here, there's not really much I can do about that. It's just the time of day that I'm filming, and I film with natural light in front of a window, so I'm trying not to lean forward to get all of that on my face, but you'll probably see it on my hands a little bit. And I am using 3 different eyeshadows palettes to complete this look, but you can use whatever. I mean, you probably have similar colors in your collection. If you have a collection like mine, you don't have to use 3 palettes. I just wanted the specific colors in each one. So for example, I'm gonna use the Modern Renaissance palette, but that's just because I wanna use this shade Tempera right here. And I'm gonna use that just to kind of set my eyeshadow primer, and that way it won't like drag, and I feel like everything blends nicely. But since I'm doing a partial cut crease, I'm going to keep it just on like my crease and the upper part of my brow bone, and I'm not gonna really go onto the lid. Then I'm gonna go into my Z palette with all Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and I'm going to use these 2 shades right here in Beaches and Cream and Creme Brulee and mix them together. I just have always mixed the 2 together because Beaches and Cream is really light, but I don't really love the tone of Creme Brulee, so I feel like when I mix it together, I get a really nice blending shade. And so I'm just gonna use that. I don't have to be neat with it. I'm just gonna be a little sloppy just to kind of blend everything out and make my eyeshadow nice and smooth and seamless. Then for a little bit of warmth, I'm gonna go in right here with Early Bird. It's just like a nice, warm orange shade, but it's not like too orange. And I'm just gonna use the same fluffy brush and just go right over where I put the Beaches and Cream and Creme Brulee. And I'm just gonna kind of layer this a few times until I get the pigmentation that I want. And I'm gonna keep going back in with this color after I'm blending just to kind of warm everything up, because I wanna be able to see it. I don't wanna go up too high to the point where I'm in my brow bone, but I also want this orange shade to be able to be seen on top of the green. Then going in with my Morphe Y19, which is a little bit more pointed but still fluffy and blendable, I'm going to use this shade right here in High Tea. It's just like a matte green shade, almost like an olive green. And I'm gonna do the same thing I was doing with Early Bird, and I'm gonna build it up a little bit. So I'm gonna go right in the crease. I want to go underneath Early Bird, but I do want to take it up a little bit because this is what's going to create the depth that you see over here and make it look a little bit deeper. But I just have to go in a few times. It's really difficult to take shadow away, so if you just start light and build it up, I find that that works better because you can always add more. Like I said, it's more difficult to take away. So I'm gonna do this back and forth a few times until I get the pigmentation that I like. Now I'm going back in with Early Bird. Like I said, I did this a few times on the other eye, just kind of went back and forth. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of Early Bird. I'm gonna go back in with High Tea and go back in with Early Bird, and I'm just gonna do that a few times to kind of build up the crease. Now I'm gonna start working on the lid, and I'm gonna dip into a third palette, but again, it's because I want a specific color. I want to go in with the Bronx right here by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Master Palette by Mario. It was limited edition, but I mean, you can probably find like an olive green shimmery shade in another palette. I know the Lorac Pro 2 has a color similar to this one, but I like this Bronx shade. And I am going to dampen my brush with some Fix Plus, and even in doing that, when I was working on this eye, I still had some fallout, so it's definitely a good idea to do your eye makeup first in this instance. And I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna keep it on the lid underneath that High Tea shade, but I'm just gonna put it on like the outer half of my eye. Now my eyes are really tiny. If I had larger eyes, it would be easy to keep it just on this outer half, but it's a little challenging for me, but that's okay because I will be going in to kind of cut the inner half of my eye. So if you get it further over than you would like, that's totally fixable. But I still wanted to deepen the outer V a little bit more, so I'm going back into the Modern Renaissance and taking Cypress Umber. You could take a black shadow if you wanted to. I don't use black shadows a lot. I mean, you totally could, just for this very, very outer corner. But for me, I didn't feel like putting a black or finding a black or getting a fourth eyeshadow palette, so I was like, Cypress Umber is pretty dark. So I can just put it right, I'm just pressing it right in that outer corner. And then I'm gonna go over the Bronx shade again. Now for the half cut crease, I'm gonna take a little bit more of my primer and put it on the back of my hand like this. And then I want a nice flat brush. This is a really old brush from Mary Kay. You can just use like a flat concealer brush. And for this part, I need a mirror. And I can't talk while I'm doing this, but I'm gonna put it right here on like the front half of my lid. Then what I'm gonna do is take this Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow in Charmed, spray it with some Fix Plus, and press it right over where that concealer is. I didn't try, well, it's not concealer, eye primer. I didn't try to blend the eye primer out. I just kind of pressed it in there. And I'm taking this flat brush from Urban Decay, just their shadow brush. Again, I'm gonna spritz it with Fix Plus. Sorry if you hear my dogs. They were sleeping when my husband was here. My husband went to go get us some food. Now they're awake. And because I'm filming, they want to be in here playing. That seems to always be the case. Now I do kind of just want to press it on top of the primer. I want to be careful not to like smudge and blend anything. I do want this to be like very defined in the front here. So that's why I'm just pressing. Now, as you can see on this side, I don't have like a harsh line right here. So I'm gonna go back in with the Bronx and spray it with some Fix Plus again to try and make it so I don't have too much fallout. And I'm going to go right over where the two shades meet, Charmed and Bronx. And I'm gonna try to blend it out a little bit so that you can't see this harsh line there. And then I'll go back in I'll just kind of go back and forth, back in with Charmed, back in with Bronx, back in with Charmed, back in with Bronx, until it's blended as much as I like. Then as like a finishing touch, I'm gonna take a little bit more of that orange Early Bird shade, and very lightly, I'm pressing very, very lightly, just kind of go over these outer edges so that you can really see that orange. I want it to be like the green up into the orange. So I'm just gonna kind of go over everything and blend it out. Now you could totally do a wing with this look if you wanted. I think it would look really pretty with a wing and some lashes, but I don't really want a wing right now. I haven't really been into winged liner recently. I also haven't been wearing a lot of false lashes since finding out I was pregnant, just because I don't know, you know, the glue situation. It's probably totally fine to wear falsies, but I really only wear falsies when I film anyway, and then like when I go to leave the house, I take them off, So we are just going to go without winged liner, without falsies. And this is what we're working with. Now I didn't have too much fallout on this side for some reason. I never have too much fallout on this side, but if you did, just take a makeup wipe, clean up any fallout, which for me is not too much. I definitely had more on my right side. But do you guys have like a better eye? Like my left eye is always the eye that turns out better, that looks better for me. My right eye, not so much. So this is what we're working with. I'm going to jump off camera really quickly and do my face just to kind of save time a little bit, come back, finish off the eyes, and pick a lip. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're losing light fast here, and it's only like 4 o'clock, so that's great. But maybe I can try and fix it up a little bit when I'm editing. I'm gonna go ahead and do my under eye area. So what I want to do first is I want to take a pencil brush and go into this shade right here in Early Bird, that light orange shade, and I'm just going to do a very light dusting of the Early Bird shade. I'm going to take it right underneath my lash line, trying to blend it out a little bit. And I just want to mimic what I did on the top of my eye with the bottom. And I like smoking it out, especially since I have some fine lines going on under there. I feel like when I smoke out a shadow, it covers those bad boys up. Then what I'm going to do is go in with this e.l.f. smudge brush and that Bronx shade. And I actually do want to spray a little Fix Plus on it so that I don't get a ton of fallout everywhere. But I'm going to take that Bronx shade and put that closer up to the lash line. But I still want to blend it out. I don't want a harsh line. But I want to put it, and I'm not going to take it all the way in, just like on that outer part. And kind of smudge it in. And then I'll go in again with that pencil brush and blend everything out. Then I'm going to go in with this gold Hollywood shade and just take my pinky, pop a little on the inner corner. Get a little pop of gold in there. But I also want to lighten it up just a tad, so I'm going to go in again with my pinky and Shimma Shimma from Makeup Geek. Just tap that to lighten it up a bit. That'll give it still like a gold effect, but it'll highlight it a little bit as well. For mascara, I went in with my Monsieur Big mascara from Lancome in black and Maybelline's The Rocket Volume Express. I am going to go in with my lip pencil by Bite Beauty in the shade 20. It's a nude, and then I'm going to top that off with Dose of Colors in the shade Catching Feelings. And that's gonna do it for the video. This is the finished look. It's a little bit different, but still festive, still holiday, still fun. But I feel like you can also wear this when it's not Christmas or New Year's too, so it's a versatile look. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. I do post 2 videos a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Every now and then I get a bonus video up on Monday or Tuesday. So if you're subscribed, you will know when I am posting new content. Otherwise, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.